Hello, I'm Meg Salyer, and I'd like to welcome you to the Ward 6 Council Show. We have a really informative show today. Jane Nelson is with me, and Jane is the chairman of the board of the
Yes.
Oklahoma Women's Coalition. Jane, you're a relatively new organization. I've been involved, I think, since the early days, and so around for a couple of years.
We're actually celebrating our 5th anniversary this year. We've been around 5 years. We're formed by a small group of women who felt that there was a need to advocate for women and girls in our state.
Perfect. So you have a beautiful mission statement, and you have a tagline that you use that's one voice.
One voice for women, really developing and forming one voice behind the issues that affect women and girls in our state. You know, we've been ranked as the third or in the top 3 worst states for women to live in.
Oh, that's just really unbelievable when you think about it. And the statistics that I just sort of store and use a lot are, you know, the terrible place we are for women's health issues. I think we're number 1 in the nation for incarceration of women, which goes
Yes.
hand in hand with the fact that we've now fallen to 3rd. We're the 3rd worst state for women to be affected and actually killed by domestic violence.
Well, in the hands of men, yes. We are, you're right, we're ranked in the top 3 for incarceration of women, and most of those women that are incarcerated are nonviolent offenders. There are a lot of other reasons that surround their incarceration. Some of it may be related to check writing, some of it's substance abuse, some of it is the other kinds of things that happen coupled with substance abuse. It's really very sad that we have all these women without providing them services to get away from their addictions.
We also don't have many women involved in politics. I'm the only woman currently serving on the Oklahoma City Council.
Right,
And as you move up into the State House, those numbers are maybe worse in terms of the
Right,
population.
we don't rank very high with the number of women that are in that have been elected to the legislature, although we do have a female governor.
Correct. Interesting. That
Yeah.
cycle last year was we had 2 amazing women candidates running for governor. It was a very exciting time in politics. But across the board, we're just not seeing quite so much of that. And so the Women's Coalition has come together
Yes.
around a series of issues.
Right, we have.
And could we talk about a couple of those?
Sure, we have 5 issue areas that spell out the word hide because we don't feel that we can hide from those issues. It's health, incarceration, domestic violence, and economic security. And we felt that, you know, there are a lot of women who are head of household, so economic security is very important. The domestic violence, we've talked about the fact that we are a state that has a high rate of women that are murdered or killed in the hands of men. Incarceration, we're in the top 3. You mentioned the statistic of we were in the top of women incarcerated, and hide our health statistics. All of those prove not to be very, we have a lot of cardiovascular, substance abuse, all of those kinds of things that fall into those, all 4 of those areas, that affect all 4 of those areas.
There are lots of organizations in our community that are working on these kinds of things. And one of the most important things to me is how we collaborate across the board and have partnerships. So share with me a little bit how you're working with some of these different organizations.
Well, we have 39 partners, organizations that are providing services that have joined with us. Our organization, the Women's Coalition, does not provide any services. We are there about providing a voice to these issues, to policymakers, and educating women and girls about the issues, but also educating policymakers about these issues and the effects that they have on all of our citizens in Oklahoma.
So organizations like Jan Perry's amazing YWCA that works with battered women, and I serve on the board of Remerge, which is a wonderful new program.
Both are organizations that have partnered with us.
Great.
They're both important organizations, and they carry out important work in our communities.
Jane, if people wanted to get involved with the coalition, I'm certain, like every nonprofit, funding is important. How would they get engaged with you?
They can go to our website. It's oklahomawomenscoalition.org. And on there is a lot of information about our issues. There is an opportunity to make a donation, and there's also an opportunity to, I think, get involved or to sign up to get involved and get
Perfect.
more information.
And you host at least one major fundraiser a year, the One Voice Luncheon.
Right, we have a One Voice Luncheon every year that this year was November. It was just a week or two ago, and we had over 300 women come to the luncheon. We had a great program and a great opportunity to reach out and talk with women about the issues that we're so passionate about.
Well, I really thank you so much for coming today. This is an important subject matter for our community to learn about. It's very important to me, and I certainly appreciate the work that the Women's Coalition is doing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.